we kind of went around for 3-4 years actually researching it, and we're coming from a traditional bowling center for 35 years to going into this new phase with the gaming and laser tag. So it's been fun and exciting for us, but unfortunately during these times, obviously we can't wait to open the doors and get going. A lot of great feedback we had.
Firstly, when did Hi-Tor Lanes open up originally?
It's 1957.
Okay, so you guys have been around a very long time. Was it the same footprint roughly that it is now?
More or less, yeah. We made some changes. Probably around 1995, we made some changes inside, but the footprint is pretty much what it was.
And how long have you been managing the Hi-Tor Lanes?
Since '88, we've been here. It's two families, my family and Rob, the Varanos. We've been here since '88 together as partners.
Nice.
So been around for a while.
That's the year I was born. So wow, yeah, okay, let's put some perspective for it.
Yeah. I wish I could say the same.
So what kind of prompted you to do this latest renovation? What made you decide that really needed to do something to rejuvenate?
Well, I guess just it's been that way for, I would say at least a good 10 years. We saw the steady decline, and just people's interests have just been, you have to be a little more over the top nowadays to get people out, and doing stuff. So, we did see the writing on the wall for some years. We spoke to a lot of, different bowling centers that actually stayed in business and what they were doing right. And, a lot of people, the majority of them that we spoke to have gotten down this road, turning their traditional centers into, FEC centers and just having more attractions for people.
Right, I agree with you that I think people still like to bowl, but it's not so much, there aren't as many serious bowlers anymore. It's more casual bowlers who just want to come and have a good time and some drinks and games as well.
Yeah, and those casual bowlers tend to spend more money than your average weekly bowlers. Even if they're only coming in, maybe twice a month, they're over and above what a typical league bowler, generally spend on a weekly basis.
Yeah, I've heard some stories from other clients that have renovated traditional bowling centers where the league bowlers came in and they didn't so much mind the new area for the FEC, but they complained about the price of coffee going from $1 to $2. So it kind of shows you.
Yeah, and that's something I know where, moving forward, we had to make some changes with traditional bowling. One thing is space. We had a lot of bowling lockers that we had here in the past, storage lockers, for their equipment that, used up a lot of wall space, but, and that wall space, moving forward with the arcade and the game room and just, laser system. So, that space is really, space we can use for those, higher revenue,
Sure.
things we're bringing in.
So when did you know that laser tag had to be a part of your renovation? Was that pretty early in the process, or was that kind of?
I'll be honest with you. My partner Rob and I, at first, we really weren't into the laser tag, stuff. But when we went and visited, we went to laser tag 360. I think was our first, real introduction to it. And we visited some of these places with 2 stories, that second mezzanine level, that kind of blew us away. We've never seen anything like that in our area. Everything was basically one floor, and, it wasn't all that exciting. But, adding that second level was, and some of these, arenas, how they really built them around these systems were incredible. And we were kind of blown away then, and hooked that, we saw the potential in it. Gotcha.
You said you've been working on this project a long time. How long did it take from when you first started considering it until it was finished? I realize there's probably still some signage going up, but you're pretty well finished at this point.
Yeah, we are. I would say, in all honesty, we've been working on this for close to 4 years. We started introducing and getting some feedback, first of all, from the town and officials, and just kind of threw it out there that this is something we were thinking about. And obviously they were kind of on board with bringing that into our area. They were, really excited about that. But that excitement and actually getting the approvals was, a big process in between, So it took us probably about a year, going in front of the board and, the town to get approvals for everything, just off the bat, And it probably took just as long to get, a mortgage and a loan from the bank to help us with that as well. So, that's been a process.
Yeah. So did the vision change dramatically, or has it stayed pretty consistent throughout those last few years? I know you said you considered the laser tag about year one or so into the process, but
right.
After that point, has it been kind of forward progress, or do you?
Yeah, It really has been. For the most part, it has been. Other than this, the latest blimp on the screen for all of us. It has been pretty consistent. We had, once we kind of did our research, we kind of had our vision, and we pretty much stayed, true to that, so far.
What appealed to you about the themed arena versus the other options out there that are more like tubes and barrels, or?
The tubes and barrels, that was pretty much the first one that we looked at. And, it's in our, it's in the New York area, even though it's pretty far from us. But we had looked at that, and we didn't like that off the bat until we started seeing some of the theming arenas. That's kind of something that grabbed us, and we learned a lot throughout the process, because we originally started, having kind of like a lost, Statue of Liberty knocked down kind and stuff like that. But then through learning through the process of, going to a lot of these conventions, we had to keep the kids in mind, and a lot of the themes that we thought about were actually going to scare our customers. So we learned a lot, and that's, kind of scaled back a little bit on our theme. And I think, Creative Works was, worked well with us, throughout the process. There was a lot of great companies that we were looking at, and each company kind of had their own thing that they offered. But ultimately, we end up going with, Creative Works for that.
Yeah, you ended up with sort of a junkyard. Is there any special significance to that for you or the area? And was there a particular age group that you had in mind that you were going after?
I think it was just more something we liked. I know they did another one other place with a junkyard theme that we kind of liked, and we gravitated towards that. And then just paying homage. We're changing the name of the bowling center here. Hi-Tor Lanes was the name of our center. It still is right now, but we're changing to Breakpoint Bowl and Entertainment. But Hi-Tor had a lot of meetings with with us and with the county. So in the junkyard theme, we paid homage to Hi-Tor and put the name inside the laser tag arena and stuff like that to pay some tribute to that as well. So
And Hi-Tor is that's the state park that's nearby, right? That's the
it's the state park, and it's the name of the mountains that is that are here in the North Rockland area. The Hi-Tor Mountains. It's actually what it's named after.
Gotcha.
Basically, near.
And so I noticed there were some pretty cool props in there. What's the story behind the classic Chevy car prop? Is that just a cool thing, or was there some?
Yeah, it was just a cool thing that they introduced, and then we kind of, when we saw that prop, we really liked that prop. Especially in our area here, there's a lot of people are into that, into cars and all that. So we thought that'd be a pretty good, cool addition there. There's my partner, Rob.
What's going on, Mike? How's there?
Oh, doing all right. Were there any of the other props that had a special significance, or was it just really cool stuff like the street lights, that big claw in the center, the burn barrels?
Yeah, and when we went back and forth with creative on a few of the props, and we picked out some things that we did like from the other junkyard theme.
Okay.
But the biggest thing for us, I think, was the Hi-Tor signage in there and having the street lights on that, and we wanted to kind of light that up for us, because the name did mean something for us, and we wrestled over that a little bit in changing the name, ultimately.
Yep. Okay. So you guys did have a lot of interactive effects, both provided by Creative Works as well as provided by us. What made you realize that you needed to include a lot of special effects inside the arena?
I think you got to be over the top and include a lot of stuff, be interactive with, with the guests. And, I think just to drag people out of the house and off the phone is the biggest, is the biggest challenge for us, and, we wanted to have, when they came in, we wanted to have that wow effect for them. So I think it does tie in, people, the little bit we've shown off a little bit to our customers, and, I think they've been more than blown away by, the arena and everything.
Oh, it's definitely the most impressive arena I've seen in a very long time. In fact, I can't even think of one that's a better overall design and effects and everything else.
Yeah, that's good to hear.
Yep. So you ultimately, sort of towards the end of the process, decided to add the projector target and the smart mission briefing. How excited do you think your guests are to fight against some life-size themed opponents, like a giant helicopter that's going to fly in and or a ship?
It's going to be awesome. When you at first told me about it, I spoke with Rob, and I'm like, I don't care what we do. That's one thing I wanted to add. We were definitely excited, to have that. And I think that just, it just brings another dimension. I think the kids, and the adults. I mean, I brought most of my league, a couple of my team members came in just to check out, the system afterwards. And they were really stoked about it, as of course we were, but I think they're going to be, really blown away.
So why did you feel it was important to add live arena footage to your exterior facade? We basically helped you guys. We provided the that 4-camera system out for the live.
I think just that live, there's so much going on outside with the, with the arcade area. I think that people, when they approach it and see that, it just kind of, creates a buzz, even inside the arena, people just seeing what's going on. They just can't, so I think it just brings that, to the forefront, when you're in the game room, in the arcade room, to see that, kind of pulls them in and entices them a little more.
So yeah, maybe they'll go spend that upsell and add a laser tag if they were just in the arcade. And it probably also, I think, helps with parents to feel comfortable letting their children inside. They can see what's going on. They know they're not just going into some super dark, dangerous room where anything could happen.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that's just an added benefit, definitely that we have.
Yep. And one question I already asked Joe, but you might have a different answer, is was there any special significance to the Junkyard theme or any of the props in there, like the Chevy, the claw, the street lights, the burn barrels, any of that?
Kind of just did that on their own. I have to say I'm definitely happy with the arena they put together, more so than I ever thought.
That's incredible.
We were originally going to go with more of a like Escape from New York theme, kind of. We weren't sure what route we were going to go with, but then when we talked to Athena, she had mentioned which kind of really caught me thinking that we would cater to more kids than, scaring a kid. I was kind of afraid that, if we put some zombies in there or some kind of like space, craft, that kid might be afraid. Junkyard more can hit like an adult and also, capture a kid's mind, So it's a very friendly environment. You saw it. I thought it was pretty good.
Oh, yeah, no, and I thought it did a good job of not being so kiddie that an adult feels weird being in there, but also not being super frightening. It's a tough balance to strike, and I think it did a good job of that. What are the biggest reasons you chose to work with Laser Blast?
We loved your family. We just felt you guys were down to earth. You're honest. We definitely shopped around with a few other companies, and we just when Joe and I met you, I think at IAPA, I think was the first time we met you guys in.
Yep.
That was 2017. Oh my God.
Yep.
As soon as we left your booth, we both looked at each other and says, we like this company, and the fact that you guys keep up with all the newest additions to, laser tag, just keeping up to times, I guess, more or less. And, meeting with your dad, your mom there, I think was there at one time, and meeting with you, we really, we kind of stuck with you guys from the get-go. Although we've with a lot of the other companies, we kind of went from AMF to Brunswick back to AMF, and with creative, we shopped studio, we went back to creative. So we kind of, we tried different companies, and like with you guys, really, you're the only people that we talked to be honest with you. And I think your price was competitive, from what I gather. I think you guys are pretty competitive, and I don't believe. Do you guys have a licensing
Contract
fee?
fees.
What's
We
it,
didn't
Joe?
like, yeah, those.
We have,
A
Fees.
lot of people have licensing fees too, which you guys don't have. And I think your customer service, you guys definitely stressed that if we have a problem, call you. I got your cell phone. I can call you direct. You're the owner of the company. I mean, not many people, when you have a problem, you call the owner of the company, and that to me means a lot, because if I have a problem, and like I said, even if I can call you or even Dustin gave his cell number, which seemed very knowledgeable too, I like that. That means a lot to me,
absolutely.
So that's one of the reasons why we stuck with you guys.
No, that's all right. I understand you guys still got plenty of work to do. I really appreciate the time.
No problem at all.
Yep.
Okay. Well, be safe and everything, and tell everybody I said hello, and we'll see you in November, maybe.
Absolutely. I'll be there one way or another.
Take care, Mike. Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.